Welcome back, everybody. This is our second segment of 7 Minutes for Seniors. I might have to be doing some splicing here. For some reason, my camera cut off, but we were in the middle of discussing the reason uh, why I got involved with you and everything like that. How somebody who owns a rum cake and coffee shop ended up involved so heavily with seniors. Uh, so you were talking about durable power of attorney with a family member and everything like that. And I was actually thinking while you were talking, how critical it is to have the viewpoint of somebody who is not a professional caregiver, but was actually willing to be in that position.
Well, first of all, it came from the fact that I didn't want anything to happen to first my grandmother and then her sister, right? So when everything was going on with my grandmother and I saw the decline, mental cognition was declining, her grasp on reality was slipping. So I'm like, okay, somebody has to step in and take care of things. And I tend to be the really stubborn one in the family. I have no problem stepping up. I'm no problem doing that. So I kind of was pushed to the forefront and had to have several conversations with her, start going to the doctors and being an advocate for her, making sure she understood, I'm not trying to take your independence away. I am trying to help you. And I think that is a very, as I was mentioning earlier, a very real fear for seniors. Mm-hmm. Independence is key, and they feel that once the independence is taken away, then what's left? Please do not ever feel that way. And it's not an independence thing as much as it feels like it is. It's you've got a loved one, remember that, loved one who is trying to help you. And we just want the best for you. We're going to see things that you probably don't even realize, or we're going to notice things over time because we have a different perspective than what you do. And sitting my grandmother down and saying, did you notice that when you went to this doctor, you said this, and when you went to this doctor, you said that? And she's like, I didn't do that. She, in her case, she really had no clue. She was telling them different stories. Mm-hmm. My grandmother was a little special. Love her to death. But it became very, very important that I had a durable power of attorney, not just a regular power of attorney. And I didn't know the difference. I had to study up and figure all of that out, and talking to doctors and figuring out exactly what it was I needed. I needed the durable POA because that allowed me to handle not just financial, but medical. So I had all of the paperwork done. I was able to take care of her finances, make sure I could schedule medical appointments, go to the doctor with her. When we went to the ER, I could sign her in, check her in, make sure everything was okay. It was absolutely helpful. When it got to the point when she did pass, I had everything taken care of. So the executor of the will literally just said, there's nothing left for me to do. I'm like, you're right, because I did everything that I possibly could. Mm-hmm. So now the transition is smooth. And I made sure communication is key. Now I realize I'm me, and I'm different than a lot of other people, but I have no problem telling the family, hey, this is going on, this is what I'm doing, this is happening, whether you like it or not. We're preparing for this. And when I had to put her into hospice, making sure everybody understood what that meant. And my grandmother went into hospice, and like literally 3 days later, she was gone. She wasn't in hospice for very long. There are some people who go into hospice and they're in hospice for months, even years. So don't automatically think hospice is a negative. Hospice is awesome. I know Heidi is absolutely amazing. She's got a ton of resources to help you figure out what you need to do when it gets to that point, because you don't want to wait till end of life to plan on. Okay. Right. And how do you take those emotions out? So Heidi at Haven Hospice has been amazing. And then when my great aunt, my grandmother's sister, started getting to the point where she's like, okay, I think I need to have a durable power of attorney. I'm like, yes, you do. We sat down and we went through everything. And she had 5 kids, but they were all in different areas, and none of them were local. They were all in different states. And she's like, well, I saw what you did with my sister, with your grandmother, and I want you to do the same for me. Okay. So I did as much as I possibly could, making sure she was okay, making sure she had the right power of attorney. And lo and behold, 15 years later, when I was going through stuff with her, guess what? Power of attorney in Florida changed. I had to go to get a whole new durable power of attorney and get everything redone. This is stuff that I didn't know because I hadn't kept up with laws. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Amy is not a lawyer at all. So having to go to a lawyer and getting the right documents done again, and understanding what a durable power of attorney is, it went from like 2 pages to 20 pages or something crazy like that. And recognizing all the details that are into it, and going through all that with my Aunt Evelyn and making sure she was aware. Again, I'm just trying to help you and do as many things as I possibly can. And she was stubborn. She worked for the IRS until she was like 78.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this lady was smart, super sharp. You weren't going to get anything by her. So it was literally making sure she knew along the way everything that was going on. And so I would definitely tell anybody who's potentially in a position to possibly be a caregiver to start talking to your elders. And when I say elders, anybody older than me is my elder, okay? So start talking to your elders. Start that line of communication now. It is not easy. It is not fun, but you have to do it, because when you get to the point where they're in the hospital, it's too late. Okay, because at that point it's stressful, and then you're like, oh my God, I wish I had done this document. I wish I had taken care of these things. And who's going to take care of the dog, and who's going to take care of the parrot? Take a step back, start planning now, because it gets highly emotional the further down the road it gets. So that is like been my one biggest piece of advice when I talk to people and they're like, well, my mom's not doing so great. I'm like, well, have you talked to them? What are their wishes? Do they want assisted living? Do they want to age in place at their home as long as possible? And most people want to stay home. I will keep you home as long as I possibly can. But if that's not safe for you or the caregivers, whether it's family or external, then once it's not safe, I can't leave you there. And have those discussions now while everybody is as clear as possible and able to understand all those details.
Now, we are going to have the Senior Care Roundtable here at Rummies and Yummies. Tell everybody the date, the time, everything like that.
So the next Senior Care Roundtable is going to be Saturday, December 7th from 9:30 to 11:30 here at Rummies and Yummies in Orange Park.
Awesome. That's been our second segment, truncated, abbreviated, spliced together, everything like that. So we'll see you again tomorrow for our third segment. Have a great day.